Qamar Daban incident was a mysterious large amount of people losing their lives that occurred on August 2nd, 1993 in Russia, similar to the Dyatlov Pass incident. That case has been mentioned many times, so it is not worth repeating, though this one is not as well known. Not many people are aware the Dyatlov Pass incident was not the only mysterious hiker passing to occur in Soviet Siberia. Russian mountains' rugged landscape has made them a popular hiking destination for tourists, but in 1993, 6 of those tourists did not make it out of the mountains alive. There are few answers in this case, and the sole survivor has refused to talk about this traumatic event since her first statement to police in 1993. One of the hikers, a 41-year-old woman, was an experienced mountain guide and survival expert known by colleagues and students as a master. She is known for her tough love towards her students and often pushes them hard. This tough love eventually paid off, as her students described her as a good teacher who taught them confidence and important hiking skills. In the summer of 1993, she planned to go hiking with 6 of her students in the Russian mountains. She was very experienced in this area, a popular tourist destination, and considered a very safe place for hiking, especially in the summer. Her students trained with her for the trip, and she was very close to all of them. The students ranged in age from 15 to 24. The group of 7 arrived at the mountains excited about their trip up. The weather forecast promised them clear blue skies and sunshine. The teacher, Lydumila, and her students were one of 3 hiking groups in the area, one of which was led by Lyumila's daughter, Natalia. Their 2 groups planned to meet again 3 days later when their hiking routes intersected. All 6 students were ready to start the hike, as it was their chance to prove that they were experienced hikers. It was a trip that they had been planning and looking forward to for months, and the group had grown closer as a result. The first 2 days of walking went better than expected. The team had a great time at the top of one of the mountains. They were putting in a lot of effort. However, after 2 days they began their descent. The weather forecast was wrong, and they encountered a rainstorm. With the hikers' supplies soaked, their journey was slowed by the extra weight. When the hikers were exhausted, Lyumila decided to hastily camp in an open location despite the presence of a forest cover nearby. That night the group could not light a fire, but the spirit was still very happy. The next morning the fire building effort was successful, and they had breakfast together before leaving for the day. They had planned to meet Natalia and expected to be able to make it because of how quickly they had climbed the mountain the day before. Later that day, Natalia and the group went to the meeting point, but her mother never arrived. The group left, and she was not worried about her mother, claiming that the bad weather had set her back. Unfortunately, what set the group back was much worse than she could have imagined. 6 days later, the group of kayakers noticed something in the tree line as they paddled down a river at the base of the mountains. A lone girl stood looking at them. The kayakers got out of the boat, and when they approached her, some sources said she was covered in dried blood. The girl became hysterical as she tried to tell her story to the kayakers. She eventually identified herself as Valentina Otochenko and said she had been hiking with 6 other people. Horrified, the kayakers took Dalia to the nearest police station to file a complaint. However, it was not until many years later that she gradually told the story of what happened to the remaining 6 people.